Hi, welcome to Chef Paradise Live. I'm Chef Walid. Today we're going to be doing a cultural riff on the classic milk pudding. Instead of the typical milk, we're going to be using oat milk, a vegan alternative. So here's what you're going to need for this recipe. We've got some oat milk that's been seasoned with a little bit of vanilla and rose water. We've got 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2.5 tablespoons of pistachios, 5 tablespoons of white unrefined sugar, and 2.5 tablespoons of chopped apricots. So what you need to start the recipe is you'll need a thick bottomed sauce pot, and you need to get that onto full heat. So the beginning of the process should start on full heat, and progressively you're gonna bring it down throughout the recipe. So to start, again, I'm using oat milk, but you could feel free to use cashew milk, almond milk is fine. So in here I've got a tablespoon of rose water, and I've got 2.5 cups of oat milk that's been seasoned with a little bit of vanilla. So before you add anything, you're gonna want to bring this up to a low simmer, at which point we're gonna be adding the cornstarch and the sugar. So the reason I use a thick bottom pot is that you want even heat induction throughout the entire process. If you have an uneven bottom pot, you may cause some scalding in areas that you don't want to. So I'm using a GastroGus. I find the heat induction on this is great. So we're about to hit a simmer here. So at this point, you wanna add your cornstarch and you wanna add your sugar. You wanna stir this fairly aggressively to get rid of any of the cornstarch clumps. And rest assured, if you do get it a little clumpy on your end, because you weren't stirring fast enough, feel free to use a hand immersion blender. So once you get to this boiling point and you start to see a little bit of viscosity forming at the bottom of the pot, you're gonna wanna turn down your stove. Now I'm gonna be adding the apricots. The reason we add the apricots a little bit early is because you want them to bloom up a little bit and not to be so chewy in the mixture. Okay, so now that you see the pot starting to become a little bit more viscous and you see the apricots starting to bloom a little bit, you're going to want to get your receptacles ready. So I'm typically using mason jars, or in this case, I'm going to be using some double old-fashioned glasses. So you want to give it one final stir. You want to make sure to amalgamate all the apricots and whatnot. And then you're going to want to slowly pour it into your desired receptacle. So now that it's all in the receptacles, you want to get this into the fridge for at least 2 to 3 hours. You can easily set this overnight, but for us, we're going to be putting this in the fridge for the next couple hours, and then we're going to be putting on our final touch of crushed toasted pistachios. All right, so this wraps up our oat milk pudding recipe. I just want to say thank you for joining us at Chef Paradise Live. This has been a blast.